that comes after 15 and before 17. It is an even number, and it is often mentioned when talking about ages, such as turning 16 years old.
November, and Russia was covered in snow. Moscow, St. Petersburg, Leningrad region, Murmansk, all were hit by the first powerful storm. Airports are paralyzed. Flights are delayed for hours. Highways are closed. The blizzard is breaking trees and power lines. Tourists in Murmansk are stranded without electricity. Trains and planes are not operating. In the Leningrad region in St. Petersburg, locals are waiting for hours for their flights. I came back 10 minutes later. That's it. Everything was covered in snow. In some areas, visibility is zero. Russia has literally come to a standstill. Lightning friends, today is November 16th and Russia is buried under snow. Everything is snowed in. Leningrad region, Petersburg, Moscow, Murmansk, everywhere. The first powerful storm has hit. Airports are paralyzed, flights are delayed for hours, highways are closed, blizzards are breaking trees and power lines. Tourists in Murmansk are stranded without electricity.
Bye! We'll come get you later somewhere down there in Murmansk in the spring.
Trains and planes aren't running, and in some areas, visibility is zero. Russia has literally come to a standstill. Breaking news, friends. Today is November 16th, and Russia is officially snowed in. The first snowfalls have turned into a collapse in St. Petersburg. Dozens of flights have been delayed. People are being herded onto planes and then sent back out several times. In Murmansk, the blizzard is so strong that federal highways are closed. Flights are stuck in villages without electricity. By evening, Moscow is coming to a halt as well. The storm has exposed the main infrastructure of the great power. It collapses at the first snowfall. And this is only the beginning of winter. All right, let's go play snowballs. The collapse begins. St. Petersburg, Leningrad region. St. Petersburg and the Leningrad region were the first to be hit. During the day, the city and suburbs were literally buried in snow. Local residents report that it's not just St. Petersburg itself being covered. Gachina, Stary Novi Pitagov, Lomonosov, and other districts have also been buried under snow. Visibility on the roads drops sharply. The blizzard is hitting the highways. Cars are stuck in a long traffic jam. According to meteorologists, up to 30% of the monthly precipitation norm is falling in just one day. City services have been put on high alert, but as always, this changes little. Janitors with shovels facing a powerful cyclone, the main symbol of a strong Russia. Pulkovo Airport. Dozens of flights have been grounded. In St. Petersburg, the situation has rapidly escalated into a transportation collapse. According to Russian media, about 40 flights have been delayed and 20 more have been postponed. 10 flights are waiting to land. This is just the beginning. Passengers to Ufa. They have been waiting for their plane for 10 hours. People were boarded onto planes several times only to be taken off again. For a country that boasts about its import-substituted airplanes, the blizzard turned out to be stronger than any spiritual bonds. Moscow. The night before the storm, Muscovites were told that the situation would get worse after midnight. Wet snow, rain, strong winds, and a sharp drop in visibility are expected. Services have been put on high alert. A yellow danger level has been declared, emergency crews are working around the clock, and utility workers are on heightened duty. All of this has been said hundreds of times before. In reality, Muscovites are facing the same old traffic jams and icy roads and municipal chaos. Is winter coming? No. Winter has already arrived and immediately hit the weak spots of Russian infrastructure.
We'll pick you up later, down there in Murmansk in the spring when the weather starts to change and the snow begins to melt. Oh, look at all this! There is so much to see here. The snow covering the ground, the cold air, and the wide open landscape all around us. This is awesome!
The Murmansk region is experiencing a real blizzard. The most difficult situation right now is in the Murmansk region. Here, the storm has turned into a full-blown snow collapse. Federal highways are closed. About 20 flights have been delayed. There are power outages in different districts. The wind is 25 to 30 meters per second. Visibility is almost zero. People are being turned around on the roads by gusts of wind, cars are getting stuck in snowdrifts, and traffic jams are growing. In the Leninsky district, the New Year trees that had just started to be set up have fallen over. People are being turned around on the roads by gusts of wind, cars are getting stuck in snowdrifts, and the traffic jams are getting worse. In the Leninsky district, the New Year trees that had just started to be set up have fallen over. Power went out on several streets. The grid couldn't withstand the gusts of wind and precipitation. But the most interesting thing is the tourists who got stranded without electricity, a true miracle of Russian tourism. In the Murmansk region, more than 10 tourists, including foreigners, got stuck because of the blizzard. They came to Tereberka hoping to see whales and the northern lights, but it's impossible to get them onto the ferry because of the blizzard, because of zero visibility and a storm warning. The people were distributed among guest houses where there is no electricity and no heating. Some of the tourists miraculously ended up in a hotel, while the rest have to sit in the dark and wait for Russia to stop falling apart because of the snow.
We'll come and get you later on, down there in Murmansk when the spring arrives, after the long cold winter has finally ended.
The cost of the tour starts at 10,000 rubles. Instead of whales, it's the icy polar reality of Putin's country. But the most interesting thing is Yakutsk, lines reminiscent of the late Soviet Union. The internet was flooded with photos and videos from Yakutsk, kilometer-long lines for meat. But this isn't perestroika, not a historical chronicle. This is Russia in 2025, a country that attacked Ukraine, the #1 tyrant country, a region with gold, a region with diamonds, with natural resources. Yet people stand for hours just to buy groceries. By the way, soon there will be food ration cards there and in the Moscow region too. What could this mean? What could this mean, friends? This is also a consequence of the winter collapse, supply disruptions, problems with logistics, and infrastructure failures. Putinism in its purest form. And the cherry on top, Russian next-generation airplanes. The fuselage comes off midair. Amidst the blizzards and storms in Russia, yet another indicator of import substitution has surfaced. A Russian Airlines plane lost its fuselage covering right during the flight. Right now, that's what I think. And somehow he knew it. It's a symbolic sign. The country collapses after the first snowfall and the plains after the first gust of wind. The State Duma's comedy against the backdrop of storms. While Russians are being snowed in, the deputies are coming up with reasons why Russians don't want to fight. Deputy Kazantsov stated that it's women's upbringing that's to blame. According to him, they grew up with their mothers, that's why they run to Verkhny Lars.
It's no wonder that kids then run to Verkhny Lars. They have a female behavioral model, they grew up with their mothers, that's normal. I'm not even judging them. They saw a female behavioral model. So in a critical situation, they don't go to defend the country, they don't go to defend their family. They, how should I put it, hide? I'm done. We need to change these. Russia is in trouble, we're dying out.
He didn't say a word about Russia dying out, about the losses, about the millions fleeing. The main thing is to find a convenient scapegoat. Against a backdrop of snow and storms, Moscow universities are trying to lure students into military training by showing off a robot soldier idol without pants and without brains.
And the machines rose from the ashes of nuclear fire, and a war to exterminate humanity began.
This is how Russia is preparing for the war of the future. That's already symbolic. The infrastructure is collapsing under the snow, collapse, but at least the Terminators are ready. They just fall over on stage and Solovyov is furious.
I'm in a state of mild rage. Yesterday, for some reason, there was a presentation of a humanoid robot in our country. And yet, we've already had such robots before. We've shown them off. There was Fedor, the robot. He did something, a manipulator. Listen, who are you torturing? Just explain, what are you doing? Seriously, what are you doing? Why? The company was created recently, so they just went ahead and showed it off. We're here, there. How wonderful. The money has already been allocated, I can't swear, but a lot has been done so that everyone understands. And so, to the music from Rocky, they bring out the Russian idol onto the stage. Two guys walk with him, and basically, he just falls flat on his face. They pick him up, also to the music, and lead him away. Now, there are three of them, and the main thing is, hurry up, let's get the materials. Was this a film about how to steal government or private money? What was all this about, anyway? According to Idol's CEO, Vladimir Vitukin, the localization level has already reached 77%, with a target of 93%. The company LLC Idol was registered just a few months ago, but has already received support from a new technological coalition that includes leading Russian IT and robotics companies. A source from RIA Novosti in the market reported that Idol's value could be between 100 and 300 million rubles? I understand that Vladimir Vitukin will try to reach out to me to explain why so early. Vladimir, why did you come out on stage? Why did you show this disgrace? It's like a children's toy and someone even found out the price from somewhere. What is your goal? To compromise the entire Russian IT and robotics industry. Meanwhile, the Kung Fu robot from Elon Musk, who meets our idol, who just absolutely collapses to the ground at the mere sight of the American robot. And if all our scientific and technological developments are at the same level as in the West, then I have only one question. When will there be arrests and executions in our country?
Friends, now let's take a look at the traditional breakdown of top-tier Russian propaganda. Like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we will definitely win. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes. Okay.
Speaking of Vladimir Vladimirovich's prophetic qualities, do you understand today what will happen in 2030?
I think more or less it will be the same. I just understand what I would like to achieve as a result of all this confrontation. That is, it's clear that we can't achieve a military victory right now for a variety of reasons, but I would like our turn toward the global south not to look like an imitation. I would like us to actually establish the kinds of military strategic cooperation agreements that we have concluded with North Korea, and to do so with others as well. Latin American regimes, the so-called Red Belt first and foremost, Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua. All these countries are waiting for our help and are counting on it. And these are really the strongest cards we have in the game with Trump. Because how are we playing with Trump right now? We do something small and then look at Trump to see his reaction. Trump, do you see, we kind of have new agreements with Africa. We have something going on with India, right? And we glance over at him, right? But when we stop glancing at him and just turn our backs and start actually doing this, we'll bring in 25,000 Cubans for the war, set up 4 military bases in Venezuela, and then someone will come knocking on our door and say, guys, let's make a deal. It's clear you're up to something. That feeling, that samurai-like recklessness, which, by the way, North Korea has, Russia needs it, at least in some, but we're getting closer to that. The universe itself is pushing us in that direction. We're trying our hardest to renegotiate, but no one is renegotiating with us. No one has met us halfway on anything, not even a single step. Well, I mean, for how long now? 2 or 3 years, we've been telling everyone, let's do it this way here. We'll give this back to you. We won't go there. We won't denaxify here. We won't overthrow Zelensky, and what else? We won't use very big bombs. But no one is meeting us halfway on this. So, again, Trump said, no Donbass, no Zaporizhzhia, no Kherson, nothing like that. Just make peace somehow so that Trump
Could get
the Nobel Prize, and then, well, we'll see how things go from there. We'll see how it goes. That's it. That's all. And well-meaning suggestions just hit a wall.
You look at the people of Donbass and realize that these people don't need much. They're ready to make do with very little. They say, just give us water for at least 30 minutes a day. They're willing to endure all these hardships for one thing, for a great victory.
You think only 30 minutes a day? No, they don't even ask for that. They get water twice a week, and even that's not the most important thing. Our guys are bringing victory closer, and victory will be ours.
What is said about a woman? What are her roles? These natural abilities are instilled in her by God. To be a loving and supportive wife, to be a devoted and nurturing mother, to be the gentle fairy of the home, the caring mistress of the house. And in wise books there's a term that's used, it's a figurative one. To be a goddess. We do not attribute it any religious meaning. However, the understanding is that a woman can, in fact, make another person truly happy. A woman shouldn't have to work, but
there aren't any more people, Vladimir Vladimirovich.
That's why they're trying to deploy British troops to the border with Belarus and French troops to the south. And that's when we'll strike them, and coffins will start flying.
If
there's even anything left to bury after tactical nuclear weapons are used. That's what they've brought the country to. And now the Ukrainians who are dying at the front, who are just being ground into dust, are they fighting for this? Sisters, wives, daughters worked as prostitutes in German brothels while their men are being sent to slaughter. The fate of Ukraine doesn't concern anyone in this world except Russia and the Ukrainian people. Only now our Ukrainian people are already here. As for those who are still there, I don't care about them at all. Not a single one. There isn't a single one left there. For me, there isn't a single one left over there. Maybe 100 people in the underground. They applauded when they entered the Kursk region. They were happy. They continued to support the Nazis with their taxes. They will all answer for this. Except for those who realize in time, come forward, leave Ukraine, or make an effort to prove that they are against this Nazi regime. The example of a minister doesn't decide anything. There isn't a single dumb brute who hasn't been a prime minister of Great Britain. I mean, they just went through a series of people who would have become more popular than this guy from India.
Clearly, it's the financial elite.
I'm in a state of mild rage. Yesterday, for some reason, there was a presentation of a humanoid robot in our country. Before that, we already had such robots. We showed them off. There was Fyodor. He was doing something there. Listen, who are you torturing? Just explain what you're doing, huh? I can't use foul language, but a lot of things were clear to everyone. To the music from Rocky, they bring out a Russian idol onto the stage. Two guys walk with him, and then basically he just falls flat on his face. It was like filming a movie about how to steal government or private money. That's what it was all about. That's what this endless disgrace was about. Meanwhile, our Chinese comrades... Honestly, I'm so filled with hatred, I can't even find the words. China has consistently shown significant progress. The next product. Here, take a look. The Chinese have unveiled a new humanoid robot. Not with a nice Russian name. Idol. They just took it, cut it off, and showed it. This is what it looks like. Tell me, please, can we compare the gait of the two robots? Why did you create this disgrace for the whole world to see? According to Idol's CEO, Vladimir Vitukin, the localization level has already reached 77%, with a target of 93%. The company LLC Idol was registered just a few months ago, but has already received support from a new technological coalition that includes leading Russian IT and robotics companies. A source from RIA Novosti in the market reported that the cost of the Idol could range from 100 to 300 million rubles. Why did you show this disgrace? This is Elon Musk's Optimus robot. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Trampampushki trampapa. He's dancing. And then a few days later, the same robot. You can see everything, right? And notice, there's no music for the hands, no people walking alongside, right? None of that is there. There's some funny guy, Elon Musk, who's showing what his robot can do. And now on the battlefield, Elon Musk's robot, a Chinese robot, and an idol come face to face. Well, first of all, it's immediately obvious that idols need to be accompanied by two people in costumes who have to hold the idol's head so it doesn't just fall over. And next to them is Elon Musk's dancing robot. But everything is fine with us.
Ukraine across the Dnipro must be destroyed, the Kiev dam must be destroyed, the city must be flooded, Kharkiv must be wiped out, Mykolaiv, Odessa, Sumy, wiped off the face of the earth like Dnipropetrovsk and other cities. At the same time, we warn them first. If they don't understand, we carry it out. Well, there's no other way, unfortunately. It's not good or bad, it's just data.
Well, how else can you fight a war? Only this way, only this way.
Look, we can see what's happening right now. There are active strikes on our oil refineries. Is that Ukraine doing it? Of course not. Is it through Ukraine? It's the British and the same Americans who are providing intelligence and relaying it. I have only one question. Are we ever going to start paying attention to this? How many times have I raised the issue of air defense on this show? No, I get it. Maybe it's a brilliant idea to turn off mobile internet, and that will immediately stop everything from flying. I understand that it's a brilliant idea to impose a flight ban, after which suddenly people can't fly during vacation season and end up sitting in airports. That really helps a lot. I just don't understand what it helps with. Because all of this supposedly helps, but the debris from the downed drones, as they say now, causes such damage that you start to wonder, is anyone in our country actually going to be held responsible for this? And why do you like to step not only on your own rakes, but also on the rakes that others step on, and not learn from them? No, I think the Democrats would definitely be better for us, because Trump is the kind of person who can make a very radical decision. And he will, definitely. And we'll see the hazel tree bloom. And finally, Poseidon Sarmat, what beauty. Why, you'll finally see how beautifully the storm petrel flies over the gray expanse of the sea. What? You're just like, you followed Obama's path. That's a vicious path. We
struck Kiev. There's no light in Kiev, no heat in Kiev, no water in Kiev. Is this good or bad? I think it's good. We are continuing to collect donations for the needs of the Belgorod region. We will be buying devices that allow you to heat rooms, that allow you to cook food. Basically, everything needed for those who, are refugees, and for those living in houses located in blackout zones. The Kiev regime is striking at the region's civilian and energy infrastructure. We must be prepared for anything.